Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Inside the Force. I'm Dave Gottingham. Hope everybody is doing well. It has been a little bit. I definitely have to admit that. And not just a little bit of not putting shows out, but really it's been dark for me for a little while. And not to take too much time on it, but the long story short is that I contracted COVID and I was out for it. Really laid me up for a little while. So, started feeling it. I was trying to get a show out right around Thanksgiving. Started getting some symptoms and whatnot, and thought it was just kind of a sinus infection or something like that, I usually get during this time of year. But no, it turns out it was COVID. Both my wife and I both got it. So needless to say, that put me out for a little while. It took a little while to get my energy back and all that stuff. And then, of course, I was backed up on work, so I had a lot to do there. But anyway, long story short, I'm all good now. Back at this thing. And I did get some messages from some of you asking about, where we were and what we were doing. But that's the short answer. And both me and my wife are doing good now. And we are back to work and all that stuff. In fact, we're excuse me. In fact, we're about to head to Walt Disney World here this weekend. So I'll talk a little bit about that later. But anyway, thanks everybody for coming back and tuning in. Got a lot to go through. I'm just going to kind of breeze through some of the stuff that's kind of older news now, obviously, from what I was going to talk about it on the last show, maybe a couple of weeks ago. But there are some big things happening right now with obviously the Book of Boba Fett coming out here December 29th. But before then, we'll just run through some older news just to kind of make sure everybody is caught up, just like I am. And I mean, it took me a while to kind of go through it and gather up this stuff. But I guess the one thing I was going to talk about on last, if I did a show a couple of weeks ago, was Disney Plus Day, actually, because, man, that was November 12th, and I didn't do a show until we were going to do a show after that. But I will say Disney Plus Day ended up not being as it didn't live up to the hype, I don't think, that most people expected, especially Star Wars fans. I mean, we were all clamoring for trailers for all these shows that are probably going to hit next year. I mean, even going as far as saying, we could probably see something from Bad Batch season 2. They may throw, a first glimpse at season 3 of Mandalorian and stuff like that. But none of that came. In fact, we got basically a Boba Fett mini doc called Under the Helmet, which was pretty good. I mean, I think I like most Star Wars fans, I think feel like we knew about all that information. That was kind of a collection of different stories about Boba Fett that they threw it all together. The only thing I didn't really know about was really the first appearance of Boba Fett, which was in this parade, even months before Empire Strikes Back came out. So that was pretty cool. I thought that was pretty neat, and seeing kids' reactions and that old footage was pretty neat to see. But also the Jeremy Bulloch part really kind of tore me up a little bit, since they did do a nice little piece on him, and because he was such into the fandom of Boba Fett. He was at the conventions. He was at pretty much every Star Wars celebration I can remember going to, which I've been to almost all of them. And he was always interactive, always willing to talk and sign autographs. I unfortunately didn't get his autograph. I regretted it, because there was one time when he was actually here in Lexington, which is where I'm at, Kentucky, and I even bought a figure a Boba Fett figure for him to sign, but I think when I went to get in line, he wasn't there anymore, and I just didn't end up catching him, which I do end up regretting that. But great guy. I know plenty of guys that have met him. So that was the only thing that really, and we got, this Obi-Wan first look thing, but it wasn't really anything, again, we haven't seen or knew about. They talked about Hayden being coming back, and we knew that. There was some, concept art and stuff like that, but, it's just not really much to go on. So, in all honesty, Disney Plus Day was kind of a bust for me. I was even off that day. Excuse me. I was even off that day and expecting all this stuff, and there's nothing really ever came. So, there's I wrote down here again these notes I wrote several weeks ago. Some of these, but there was a rumored Old Republic or a High Republic movie coming out. Now, that's weird about that now because which I'll talk to here in a minute. Well, I can just go ahead and talk about it now, I guess. Star Wars Eclipse was released, which I had a note here about Star Wars Eclipse, a new game coming in High Republic era, before they actually released because there was news about this before they actually released the teaser trailer that they did the other day at a gaming convention. Now, I will say I am stoked about this game. These cinematic type trailers, I live for them. I love them. They do a lot of those stuff for Halo and Assassin's Creed and Gears of War, games that I'm really into, first person type campaign games that I'm really into. And of course, they do them for High Republic, Old Republic. And then they did release this Star Wars Eclipse that really steps it up. Fully CG animation, obviously. Just showing highlights of that era. It doesn't say it's High Republic, but you can tell, there's Yoda standing there in the chamber, in the Jedi chamber. And, you just see several different worlds. Of course, there's this dark figure at the end. I don't know. It looks pretty incredible. I don't think this is the, I could be wrong about this. I don't think this is the open world game that we keep hearing about. I think this is pretty much looks like a kind of campaign standalone type game that has several different storylines that maybe intersect and or you can maybe choose your adventure or choose a character and go a different way. But it seems like it's a pretty standalone narrative story, not a multiplayer thing, like a Battlefront or anything like that. So that is right up my alley. I really cannot wait for this. Fortunately, something like this, apparently it's still technically labeled as in development, meaning they're still creating the game. So probably won't even get a sniff of this game until 2023 at least, maybe 2024. Who knows? But I'm excited about it. I'm really excited about that. I'm dying to get into a game. They released a Star Wars Hunters that's coming out on mobile and Switch, and again, that's kind of a battle royale thing. I'm not really into that, so I'm not probably going to be playing that too much. I want these Jedi Fallen Order. I even really like the campaign on Battlefront 2. But those are the type of games that I want. So I am really looking forward to this. I want to see what this is going to be like. And I'm getting into that High Republic era. So I think this will help getting other people into the High Republic era. Not only following what characters are there, but, really diving into the books and the comics and possibly getting a new batch of fans attached to this era. So, because it seems like we're going to be in it for a while. We're definitely going to be in it for a couple more years with the publishing campaign. But it looks like, you put this game out there. You got the Acolyte show that seems like it's still very much in development and getting produced, which is in the High Republic era as well. So, it's inevitable, I think, that you're going to start we may start hearing things about another Disney Plus series or a film that's going to come out during that era. So, yeah. Oh, and back to that rumored Old Republic, High Republic movie. Again, like I was saying, the rumor probably maybe came out because the trailer leaked for this game, or in conjunction with that, Patty Jenkins Rogue Squadron movie got pushed, and apparently they might be trying to fast track a movie into that December 2023 slot. That's where I think this possibly popped up too, is that there's one in development and no one really knows about it yet. And maybe they're going to do that. So it seems like they're still going to try to put a movie out in December 2023. Doesn't look like it's going to be Rogue Squadron. So we'll see if it ends up being something else, especially in that Old Republic, High Republic era. I think it's probably going to be more High Republic because it doesn't seem like they're going that far back yet to do Old Republic stuff. I think we're going to be in this High Republic era for a few years. So anyway, also in relation to that, they re-released all of the old cinematic trailers for Knights of the Republic and Old Republic in 4K. So that was kind of, again, a little weird how they did that in conjunction with this rumor. So, could be something there, but we don't know for sure. A little bit of news too that happened in November. Dark Horse Comics is coming back to publish Star Wars content. If you followed comics, Dark Horse had the license for 30 years or so. And Marvel got it back and ended kind of that Dark Horse line. IDW had it for a little while, but they were producing more of the all ages type comics. So now that contract has ended. And I think that's kind of what shifted over to Dark Horse, is the kind of all ages type. Marvel's obviously still going to be producing all the main, I call them main storylines, the adult kind of comics, like the Star Wars, the Vaders, the Bounty Hunters, Dr. Aphro, stuff like that. That's happening right now. So I guess they might pick up, if they continue down like a Star Wars Adventures and High Republic Adventures and stuff like that, they may still do that. And that's what Dark Horse may continue doing. Or they could, they could start their own, big storylines. I don't know. We'll have to see, but that starts coming in spring of 2022. So as soon as I get some previews of that and some looks of that, I'll let you know how those look and what lines are going to be coming from there. Andor was talked about in some news coming in fourth quarter of 2022. So that kind of shakes up the timeline. I think a little bit of some release, and that's actually what I'm going to mainly talk about is next year's timeline here at the end of the show. So that'll be part of that talk. Galactic Star Cruiser, which is taking reservations now. That's the Disney World experience, Star Wars experience that you can do. It's a 2-night stay in the Galactic Star Cruiser called the Halcyon. And I'm looking to do that maybe next summer. So I'll keep you posted on that as well. But, reviews are starting right now. They've opened it up, testing it to celebrities and some critics and stuff like that. So it's been what I've seen anyway, it's been somewhat mixed. In fact, my wife books Disney vacations, and she's been hearing also too that a lot of people have been canceling because what I feel like is happening is that a lot of people booked right away, not necessarily knowing fully what this is, because it's not What it's not is not a hotel that you just stay at and then go to like any park you want. This is its own experience. So you are tied to their itinerary. You are tied to this location. You do travel to Galaxy's Edge, Batuu, for a morning, but then you're right back in the hotel on the ship. So you don't get to venture out and go do what you want. So I think a lot of people didn't realize that and grasp that. I think they just thought, I'm going to stay at a Star Wars themed hotel while I'm at Disney World. That's not what it is. So I think that's what's happening. And I think people are starting to realize what it truly is. And, I think a diehard fan is the one that's going to be going. I don't think that somebody that just wants to go to Disney World and stay at a Star Wars hotel is going to be interested in something like this. So, but I'm pretty sure I will experience it next year. So full report will come from me on that. But it looks pretty neat. I mean, it looks pretty neat. I definitely think that it's something I'll enjoy and something I'll definitely encourage people to do, I feel like. So anyway, the last big news that I wanted to kind of just go over a little bit is Kathleen Kennedy signed on for 3 more years to be the Lucasfilm president. I feel like a lot of people have responded well to this news. I think for a while there, people were not really giving her the credit she deserved on, the creativity and the direction that they're going with Star Wars right now. I think she obviously took a lot of slack for the sequel trilogy, not going as the way that most fans wanted, I think. But, she obviously is responsible for getting these Disney Plus shows going, especially Mandalorian. Say what you say about Visions, but, Bad Batch was a pretty big hit. Obviously, bringing back the Clone Wars for the final season was a big hit. Look, Boba Fett's bound to be a hit. So, she's at the helm of all this stuff. So we'll have to see the next batch of movies, where that goes and how. It looks like her contract would end shortly after, whatever next movie would come out in 2023. But definitely, I'm a fan of hers. I've been a fan of hers ever since she was producing Spielberg movies. So I'm a big fan of hers, and I'm obviously okay with what Star Wars is doing, or else I wouldn't be doing a show like this. But you pick and choose what you like and don't like, and you move on and try to consume as much as you can, and stick with the stuff that looks good to you and works well for you. But right now, there's always something in Star Wars that I appreciate and like. Visions is definitely that definition, right? I didn't love all of it. There was definitely ones that I did like. And it was something I'll go back and watch again. Probably not, but there's people, I'm sure, that love it. So, enjoy Star Wars, enjoy what you just find it and enjoy it and try it out. And if you don't like it, move on. No big deal. Okay. Again, some novel releases coming out. The Thrawn trilogy, the Thrawn Ascendancy trilogy ended. Lesser Evil came out November 16th. So that is done now. And there's no adult or young adult novels coming out the rest of this year. The next step in the High Republic starts in January, though. You have The Fallen Star, January 4th, and you have Midnight Horizon, February 1st. That's the adult novel and the young adult novel. Then you got Queen's Hope in April 5th, which I cannot wait for. And then you got some of those new books that came out. I'm not even sure I mentioned those Yeah, I did on the previous show. But Brotherhood comes out May 10th. Shadow of the Sith, which is the Luke book about him trying to find Exegol. That's June 28th, and you got Padawan July 26th so far on that novel list. And on the comic side, just to let you know, on Beyond the Saga, we will be talking about War of the Bounty Hunters, which is a book that I just got in a couple weeks ago, written by Charles Soule. So this is the 5-issue series that came out about Boba Fett, trying to get Han, Carbonite frozen Han to Jabba, and the struggles he went through, and obviously the introduction of, not introduction, but we mentioned it. Hopefully, there's no spoilers right now. But Crimson Dawn is still around at this point. This is between Empire and Jedi, obviously, and Kira is around. So the next, there's a trilogy of story that Charles Soule is putting together right now. War of the Bounty Hunters is the first one, and then he's got Crimson Reign, which just started in December. I haven't dived into that yet, but that is his second trilogy that will be coming out. Again, that came out this month, and it'll run for 5 more issues. And of course, there's going to be a lot of crossover with other comics coming out around that time, like Vader 19, which comes out 22nd this month. Bounty Hunters 19, 29th. You've got High Republic number 12 coming out this week, and High Republic Trial of Shadows number 3 coming out next week. So lots of comics out there too. Lots of good ones. Like I said, the War of the Bounty Hunters is really good. We'll be doing a Beyond the Saga about that. And Crimson Reign, which just started. Can't wait to dive into that. So go check that out. Other than that, let's talk about this main timeline now, with the Book of Boba Fett coming out, here in December 29th. What we did learn also is that it's 7 episodes. I think there was a thought process that it would be, like at least 8, like Mandalorian, but it looks like we only got 7 coming, which is strange. Because now that we know that Book of Boba Fett is 7 episodes starting December 29th. And then you've got the news that Andor is not starting until 4th quarter. Now, here's the thing that we don't know is what does Lucasfilm consider 4th quarter? So I believe that, if I'm correct, I believe that their year possibly starts in October, meaning that October, November, December is their first quarter. That's their first quarter of their fiscal year. So that would mean that the 4th quarter of, according to their calendar, would be July, August, September, which is normally 3rd quarter for most companies. So July, August, September is where I think this is talking about their 4th quarter. I think it's, so to me, it looks like I think Andor is going to land somewhere in August, possibly debut, maybe late July, early August, or maybe even September. It could be September. Now, again, there's not a full, I don't think there's been a full episode count, but the rumors are there's about 12, maybe 12 episodes of Andor. So let's, I don't know, let's put this together a little bit. If you did, we've got 7 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, meaning that it starts December 29th, which would mean that the finale, the season finale, would happen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would happen February 9th. So February 9th would be the end of Book of Boba Fett. Now, what is expected to come out next year on Disney Plus is obviously Book of Boba Fett, is Obi-Wan Kenobi, is Andor, season 2 of The Bad Batch, and the start of Mandalorian season 3, which probably is not going to be until the end of the year. So here's where I'm at. And again, I've looked as much news as I can, so I don't think this has been totally put together or released yet. But I'm thinking the big question right now is what order is Obi-Wan and the Bad Batch? Because I think it's pretty much set that Book of Boba Fett's coming out. Andor will be fourth quarter to them, which is, fall, August, September. And I feel like that will run into, because if you do that for 12 weeks, you're talking about 3 months there. So if you do, let's just say you do September, October, November, and then I think you have season 3 of Mandalorian debut in December, just like Book of Boba Fett. So sometime next year, this time, we'll get season 3 of Mandalorian. So if you backtrack that, and you've got basically a window now of mid-February to probably late July or mid-August, to where you're fitting in Obi-Wan and the Bad Batch. Now, the Bad Batch probably has, 16 episodes or so, like it did the first season. Obi-Wan, we know, is shorter. It's rumored to be probably 4 episodes, maybe 5. So the question is which one is first, and which one's ready to go? I personally feel like season 2 of Bad Batch is probably ready to go already. They usually work on those a year in advance. So while season 1 was out there, they were pretty much working on season 2. So, but we haven't seen anything from it, because on Disney Plus Day, we did get the Obi-Wan first look. I feel like that's next in line. So I feel like towards the end of January, early February, when Book of Boba Fett's wrapping up, we may start seeing we may get a trailer of Obi-Wan, or they may start pushing it just right after Boba Fett, because what I think is going to happen, here's my prediction, is May the 4th, again, which is a good time, obviously, to release something. May the 4th this year is actually on next year, on the 22nd, 2022, is actually on a Wednesday. So with shows debuting on Wednesdays now, that is the prime time to debut a show. If you remember, they debuted Bad Batch last year on May the 4th. I think they're probably going to do the same thing. I think Bad Batch is going to premiere May the 4th. If you did 16 episodes, 4, 9, 13. Yeah, 16. 16 will put you in mid-August, right? Which is right around the time you would then start Andor, because that's the fourth quarter. So again, this could be a stretch because I don't know where they are in post-production on Obi-Wan, but that would mean we would get Obi-Wan sometime between February 9th and May the 4th. You could do, a promotions for Obi-Wan in February, and then basically debut the thing late March, mid-March, late March, and leading up to May the 4th. So the problem is I don't know if they have the thing done. If they'll have it done, but I feel like they will, because to me, if you don't do it that way, because if you debut Bad Batch sooner, like right after Boba Fett, then you're going to be in the middle of it through May the 4th, and you don't really have anything. And I don't think the problem is I just don't think they're going to overlap shows. I don't think you're going to have Bad Batch out and then they're going to release Obi-Wan while Bad Batch is out. I just don't think that's going to happen. So to me, putting together the timeline, backtracking from when Andor is going to get released to the episodes of the Bad Batch to Mandalorian not come out till this time next year. That window between, like I said, February and May the 4th, if you have it done, there's plenty of time to push Obi-Wan and release it. And I hope that's what they do. I hope I hope they have that thing ready to go. I mean, it's shot, they use the volume. So hopefully there's not too much post to be worried about, but I think that's what's going to happen. That's personally what's going to happen. So I think, in summary, we're getting Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Bad Batch Season 2, Andor, and Mandalorian. Is not going to be that much of a break next year in Star Wars content, which is phenomenal. Because again, we're not getting any movies next year. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. Love to hear what you guys think. What you're looking forward to mainly. I will do an episode probably when I get back and before Book of Boba Fett debuts. Because I will, there's a lot of TV spots running now and small little trailers. So can't really decipher fully what things about fully yet. I mean, obviously he's trying to build an empire and do it differently than the way Jabba did it. But, who's going to show up? I think that there's going to be a lot of surprises and, question if, there's always a question of Mandalorian. Din Djarin's going to show up. The rumors are that he will. So it ties together somehow still, but, I'm a huge Boba Fett fan. I love Tamar Morrison, so I cannot wait for this episode, this show. So anyway, all right. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. Hope everybody's doing well out there. I do also want to read a new email I got while I was recovering. Well, I got it before then, so I was going to read it on the a couple weeks ago, but I just wanted to, again, be appreciative of what you guys are saying and be more, share more with everybody about things like that. So keep them coming. I appreciate it. So I got an email from, Kimura Jade is how they signed it. Thanks for listening for one, but she mentions hello. I meant to drop an email after the last episode going solo, which is I think the one I just did previous to this one, or might have been 2 episodes ago actually. Just to say I appreciate that you're still doing episodes to keep us updated, even if you have to do it alone for a bit. I love hearing about all the Star Wars things I might have missed, and of course the thoughts around them. I miss the other hosts, but like most adults, I know how life gets sometimes. Did one of them just have twins? Yes, Casey, my original co-host, is still raising twins right now. She mentions, I have a 7-month-old, and I straight up think I would die if I ended up with twins because my son is a handful and a half all of his own. Very true. Plus, they have a 4-year-old. So not only do they have twins, Casey has a 4-year-old. So yeah, needless to say, he's still not able to do the show. He has talked about coming on, maybe once in a while, but it'll be a little while till he gets back full time with me. And she goes on to say, that being said, I really rely on podcasts like Inside the Force to help me stay up to date because everything is busy, but I can still get some reading done on my lunch break. And when that finally started up again, some live action show watching with the spouse after the kid goes to bed. So thank you so much for reminding me on releases and cool stuff going on with Star Wars. Keep trekking, and I wish all the hosts the best with the various challenges in their lives. May the Force be with you. Yeah, I appreciate that email. Of course, if anybody wants to email, it's on our website, but it's mail@insidetheforce.com if you want to send something directly there. Or, of course, you can leave a comment on YouTube, which a lot of you do. Appreciate that. But it's just nice to hear, that I can do this solo and you guys will still listen and watch. So, yeah, really appreciate it. I'm back now. I'm okay now. Like I said, I'm heading to Disney World this weekend. We had such a good time last year during Christmas there. We wanted to go back this year and try to get the full effect of it, because last year was pretty strict with COVID stuff, and this year's a little less. So, we're all healthy now and ready to go. So I will be experiencing, in fact, we're actually going with my other nephew, Casey's brother, Corey, and his family. Corey's been on the show a few times with me here. And we actually got something brewing together that we're going to be doing that I'll share when we get back probably. But, he's going to be experiencing Galaxy's Edge for the first time. So I'll probably bring him on the show and we'll talk about that, his experience with that. 'Cause I've finally got somebody, that's in my circle that's experiencing, Galaxy's Edge. Hannah has, obviously she's been there, and she's talked about that, but I'm curious to get his reaction when he first walks in being there, because I haven't gone with Hannah. So can't wait to see that. As always, subscribe to us on YouTube. We're all over the podcast feed. So wherever you get your podcasts, hit us up on there. We're going to get back to doing I do have a Beyond the Saga. We'll be releasing next week while I'm gone. We've got a couple more we're going to do when I get back. I got some council sessions brewing. And like I said, we got some other shows that we're talking about doing on the channel as well. But remember, the Mandalore podcast, me and Cyber Ren over there, we're going to be covering in depth, like we do with Mandalorian. Obviously, we're going to be doing with Book of Boba Fett. So starting the weekend after the debut, the 29th. So that'll be, January 2nd or 3rd. We'll be releasing our first episode, in depth of the first episode. Of course, I'll talk about it also on this show, but we go pretty deep dive on the Mandalore podcast. So go hit that up and look for those coming out as the show rolls out each week. So thanks everybody again for watching and listening. Hope everybody has a great Christmas holiday. Stay safe. Try not to get in anything and get sick or anything like that. But take care of yourselves. Have a great Christmas and week next week. I will be back after Christmas with my report from Disney World, Galaxy's Edge, as well as prepping for the first episode of the Book of Boba Fett. Thanks everybody for watching. Take care. May the Force be with you.